Turn this up.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning, today is July 30th, 2024. And board minutes for July 23rd, 2024.
Once again, I couldn't find them. I don't know what it was. The laptop is dying that I have.
Okay.
I can print them.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, so Billy, he's gonna, oh, you're already
Yeah,
printing it out.
printing it out.
So again, we will put the board minutes between an agenda item and look them over and then make our decision. So we will move on to correspondence.
First 2 pages.
We have some newsletters
The back of them.
from
You gave her the front page.
Granite Headwaters and this is a newsletter, so if Billy, you want to make sure that this gets onto the website for people to.
Yep.
Our next correspondence is an email from Andrew Cohen. And he is stating that he feels there's a county road that needs to be, it's an improved county road. Did you get a chance to read that email? He's saying that it's at mile marker 21-22. He noticed a sign that has been there for years at mile mark 21-2 that states leaving national forest. Adjacent to that, what appears to be signs, I assume were installed by Granite County stating residential 25 miles per hour. With the above, I suspect that the contractor has been directed to grade only U.S. Forest Service land. I would assume then that that portion of Rock Creek Road is county road. As per discussion with Jim and Paul from Granite County Roads, they're both stating it is not a county road and the county has no obligation regarding signage, maintenance and improvements. Seems to me Granite County should have contracted out to the Forest Service contractor Cook and Sons to grade the road portion. So just my point of view, but maybe you can investigate. Might need signs stating unimproved county road as a portion of it narrows, has obstructions in addition to deep potholes, especially as it turns at approximately 22.7 mark. Any comment on that?
I have some background on it.
Okay,
So the Forest Service was doing that lower portion of the road. They were grading it and doing improvements. They stopped at, I think it's like mile marker 21, which is right where the subdivision starts that this gentleman resides in. So I know he had talked to Linda a little bit about whose jurisdiction the road is, and she's going to reach back out to him. So that's more to just keep you guys in the loop if it comes back on the agenda. Our road crew does plow on Rock Creek Road or do maintenance, but I think they stop at mile marker 13. So there's this stretch of road that this gentleman is concerned over, and I think it goes right through their subdivision.
And it's Forest Service.
No, it's county, I believe, but he's working with Linda. It's kind of it's my understanding that that portion of roadway goes right through these people's subdivision. And I know that it is a very narrow piece of roadway and that it's hard to get all the way into the right of way because I don't think it it is
So
a very narrow
it's not
section of
meeting-
roadway.
county specs, that narrow road. And so they're what? There was
It
a
should be-
comment, they're putting stuff in the,
There's stuff in the right of way that needs to, I believe, be removed, but there's been some back and forth on it, but like I said, Linda's gonna reach out to him and kind of, this might end up back in here for
Okay, well-
discussion.
hear from Linda on this, to see if we need to get it on the agenda or get him in here. What do you suggest, Chuck?
Yeah, we gotta talk to Paul.
Yeah. And Paul's saying it's not a county road.
That's what this gentleman says, but it's
So
Rock Creek.
Jim, he must be referring to Walden, Jim Walden.
Yeah, potentially, but I mean, it's Rock Creek Road. I believe it's, Rock Creek Road. It's, I believe, a county road from that section. I think we just don't maintain past mile marker 13, right? I think when you get down by the hogback.
So Rock Creek Road
Oh,
goes
so
right
it was
through the
forested.
subdivision.
And then,
Rock Creek Road is Forest Service.
and it changes at that mile marker where they just finished grading their portion. I think it's at mile marker 20, 22, 21.
Where the Forest Service just quit.
Because that's the end of their road and they just did a road improvement project down there, I believe. I don't know the details of it though. But Paul will know more too. Paul's spoken. with
Well,
this
so we gotta
gentleman.
find out from Linda.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's on road.
Well, we'll put it with, visit with Linda and decide after speaking with Linda if we should get it on the agenda at a later date.
Okay.
That's it for correspondence. So is there, let's see, I guess we have a couple minutes before we have public comment on matters within the commissioner's jurisdiction.
Which is,
Be looking.
I only have the top 2 pages sent to you. Let me get these. I had a printing.
what do
it.
you have?
Hold on.
I don't know what page it is.
Through.
I don't know. What, you have?
Is it the front page, I don't know which is the second.
So you gave her your top 2 pages when I printed it, but I only gave her part of it. So I reprinted, I'm just gonna reprint everything, but I think it goes. There you go. And I'm printing another copy.
Okay. Okay, our next agenda item is public comment on matters within the commissioner's jurisdiction. Do you have public comment?
No, I'm here for the 9:30 discussion about plowing.
Oh,
Usually. I'm just early,
you're Clay?
yes.
Okay. Is there any public comment on matters within the commissioner's jurisdiction?
I'm here. You, Mary. Elena has a comment.
Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I I kind of tuned in late a little bit. While you were doing the pledge. There were no introductions. Who's there as far as the commissioners?
So Scott is away fighting fighters. It is Chuck Hinkle and myself, Blanche LaFleur.
Oh, okay, so Scott is still fighting fires. Thank you.
You will.
He has been able to call in too. He's
Is
having,
he on the phone?
yeah, he's having issues unmuting himself, so I'm trying to work with him over text to remedy that.
And that's my bad. I didn't acknowledge that Scott wasn't here.
I think that's Scott.
Granite County Commissioner's Office.
Hey, Blanche, it's me.
Hi,
I
Scott.
could hear you on Zoom. I could hear you on Zoom, but I can't it won't let me in. It just keeps kicking me out.
Okay,
So I'll just listen.
okay. Okay, Dick, we have been joined by Scott via phone.
How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you doing?
All right.
Scott, did you get a chance to read the minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We haven't approved them as of yet. Chuck wasn't able to get the minutes, so when he's done reading them, we're gonna be putting that on a motion.
Okay.
We're now in public comment. Did you have any public comments, Scott?
No, I heard Elena wondering if I was there or not. I could hear her on Zoom, but now it's kicked me completely out of Zoom again. Billy's been working with me and I just thought, heck with it, I'll just call in. My phone keeps going to SOS.
Huh?
I don't know what's going on. It's raining really hard down towards Missoula here.
That's good, because it's raining here too. Rain is good. We have about 5 more minutes for public comment on matters within the commissioner's jurisdiction. Go ahead, Elena.
Where'd it go? There we go.
Thank you. Now that Scott is there, I was just wondering, Scott, which fire are you on?
I'm on the Miller Christian.
Oh, okay, how's that doing?
They got it just about out. We're just about done.
That's
Got
good.
one more day and I think then we're kicked off.
Yeah, hopefully this rain will do some wonders for us. Thank you.
That. Supposed to get back up in the 90s and 100 by this weekend.
Sounded like you said, I hope, but I said, but you didn't say I hope, right? Morning, Blaine.
Morning. How's it going?
Good, we have Scott on the phone with us. and
Hello.
Right now, we're got about 4 minutes left, public comment on matters within the commission's jurisdiction.
Sounds good.
So Scott was saying his fire's almost out, getting ready to,
Oh, it is, huh? Had a good little rain out there too.
the training where he's at too.
Fine.
So this is good, good rain.
Where are you at?
Now I'm down at, Miller Creek. It's, south of Missoula there.
Okay. All right, good. A lot of trees blowing down right there.
No, it's not, no, it kind of missed it there, it just kind of hit right in Missoula.
Yeah.
I was in that arm when it come through.
Oh, you were. Wow.
Weird when the whole town goes flat.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. You looked at the footage of those younger boys that were caught between the two power lines or whatever it was. It looked like a small tornado was right there. I mean,
And
Yeah, we were there Thursday, going through the intersections.
yeah,
We made it.
intermittent lights working.
They weren't working. Some of them.
Yeah.
east of Missoula don't have power right now.
Yeah, I know. Well, people in East Missoula were just getting it yesterday, I think, but there's still people out, huh?
Yeah, all the Clinton, they had power and then it went back out to this morning about 2 o'clock, they lost all their power.
Wow. You have a lot of equipment on that fire?
Bunch of it's left, they moved a bunch, a lot of them are going to Washington and Oregon right now.
Huge one in California too, isn't there?
Yeah, a great big one there.
You're gonna be on all morning?
Scott,
What's that, what?
You're gonna be on all morning?
That's what I'm trying to, yeah. And my phone keeps going to I don't know, is.
I'll move to accept the minutes.
Scott Chuck has moved to accept the minutes for July 23rd, 2024. Is there a second? Scott? Oh, Scott's gone, so I guess I'll second. Is there any public comment? Things none, all in favor?
All right.
Aye. Okay, it's now 9:20. We have accepted the board minutes for July 2023. We have gone through public comment on matters within the commissioner's jurisdiction. And we will begin our weekly report with Road and Bridge Superintendent Paul out as soon as he gets here. Did you hear anything whether he's gonna be here?
I believe he's gonna be here. He's supposed to bring me his demo phone so I can send it back to T-Mobile, so.
That's on the agenda today too, the T-Mobile. Well, they're making progress with bathrooms up there.
Hmm.
So, yeah,
Drywall.
yeah, working on that now.
Then we're gonna start all over on the other side. I'm part of the crew
Oh,
that's
okay.
doing that.
All
Yeah,
right, good job.
yeah, it's coming along.
You also here for the Algonquin Road too?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep, that's me.
okay. You worked at PCS for a while or just on the project?
Just for a few months.
Okay, good.
Mhm. Yeah, my wife and I moved over in May, so I started shortly after that.
Okay. I'm Blaine Bradshaw, county attorney. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
You live on Algonquin Road or?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, good. Did you get that letter on the petition on Algonquin Road to be a county road?
I did not.
So, yeah, there is a petition. No one objected, but the county is considered that a county road all along here.
Mhm.
But they're just wanting to protect, they're all citizens want to protect and they filed the petition, so that'll be coming up here soon,
Okay.
be on the commission's agenda.
I see Paul has walked into the building. So he should be here. Any second.
Your clock's a little fast. It's 9:20 right now.
How did it speed up?
Granite County Commissioner's Office.
I'm back, it's shut off, I don't know if it can't be on that long or what's going on. I'm back though, it's a pain, I tried to get back into Zoom, but they keep telling me to *6 and whenever I do that, it shuts it off.
Good morning.
Did you hear what he
Morning.
said?
Mhm.
Does
I-
that make any sense to you?
I have never tried to do a lot of Zoom from my cell phone. But I'm thinking that's like the unmute thing. I think he's probably doesn't have enough service where he's at, but
Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
Okay, Paul has arrived on time. Our clock is a little fast, I guess.
Ish.
We will then begin our weekly report with Road and Bridge Superintendent Paul.
We are just laying road, spreading gravel, Mountain Willow Creek. Upper Willow Creek, and we'll be out of gravel at the middle fork, I'd say probably by noon tomorrow,
We out of gravel?
if the middle fork pit. So,
What the crushed, the one that's, the stuff that's crushed last year? or was it-
Yeah.
okay.
you know. We haven't took any yet, well, a couple, hardly anything from Tommy's pit yet, but. Anyway, yeah, we're just kind of moving along and. Road to road, I guess, it rain's pretty nice.
Better than alternate foot in here. Fill it up a little.
Yeah.
How many days you got to go up there?
Oh, hope to be done this week. Yeah, we're just trying to get to the bottom, we're at Sheetemeyer right now, trying to get up there to the bottom. Up past Scotchman, and then we're gonna jump. And then we'll go up by, kind of between Lauren and between the Lucci's, and do some on that piece right there.
So where's the fire?
I don't even know.
Right in the middle of the county, Willow Creek.
That's Laura will, I think.
Yeah, it's out.
Oh, yeah. So.
It's like
DNRC,
the main road, they got it out right away.
Oh, it's out?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
who was on that? Valley and DNRC or?
yeah, DNRC and Phillipsburg Volunteer and somebody else.
Okay, so Paul Willow Creek is about that, you said.
Yeah,
Then you move where on on your little list.
It kind of depends on, well, I know what we'll do. We're gonna try to get on travelers, but if they're not done with that fiber optic,
Oh, okay, yeah,
and we're just kind of working with those guys, because there's no sense trying to do something when they're tearing it all off. So I would imagine if we don't go there, we'll probably go to Bear Gulch.
so we did get an email from. And I don't know, Brad, maybe you wanna,
I think so.
So it's been a while since I've looked at the Rockford Road petition, but I guess my understanding was all of Rockford Road was a county road and it's not all maintained, but I'll have to double check that.
Yeah, there's something with that piece that they're jumping over, and
Oh, yeah.
we go 12 miles in. And we've never done anything on that road. It's Forest Service is always.
Yeah. I think, in fact, I think part of that road's actually dual county and Forest Service, so it's probably been historically just allowed the Forest or the Forest Service has done it, but I'll have to ask Linda on the history there.
And when I talked to this guy, I told him he wanted us to put signs in into the subdivision for dead end road and stuff. Well, we don't do that. We never have done that. I told him that I recommended he call Alpine Signs if they want signs and order them themselves.
yeah,
Because that's what everybody else does. And I also told him that if he's to try to figure that out, maybe he could call Linda Bach and she could.
well, I think that's what, Linda's on it, and so we're waiting for. Back from her
Yeah,
to make sure, so.
there probably was, I bet there was a county sign there saying non-maintained, probably got tore down, ripped up, Scott may know.
I've just never seen it. I've been
Oh,
through there
okay.
1,000 times.
Nothing.
I mean, they've got all their rocks narrowed it all down for private property on both sides. Nobody can park anywhere near the water. So
Who does?
Property owners.
these people on the property line right next to the road on both sides, it's all rocked in. You know, just rocks and. So saying with their signs on, they're saying it's private property, well. All right,
Have they put rocks though within the right of way?
oh yeah, they're right on the edges of the road.
No. I mean, that's not, if that right there's a county road, double check it, they should be doing that.
We ever go through there with the grader, they'll be winged off.
Yeah,
I know
but
that much.
is it a safety issue right now or?
No, it's just an
Oh.
asshole issue. I guess. You might say.
Tell us what you really think.
Scott, did you have any questions for Paul?
No,
Okay,
He did give me his road priority or bridge priorities. That I gave you guys and
Yes.
put on the agenda. If you guys are ready for that, I'll get that to Great West.
I saw that.
Okay, perfect. Yeah,
We
added
have
it
your
last
list
minute.
of the three,
They're the same ones. You know,
okay. Do we have to put it on the agenda?
It is.
It is on the
Mhm,
agenda.
I added it last week.
Your top three was the same as Great West?
it's the same as what they were last year. Too.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Gold Coin and Middle Fork
Stony.
and Stony Creek.
Didn't you do some work on the deck at Stony Creek or not? That was just
No.
okay, plan.
Yeah,
Oh.
well, we talked about redecking and just.
we're trying-
Go ahead,
we tried to
Scott.
get, we tried to get that wrap
Yeah.
money for,
Yeah, that's right.
They said there was other places to put it, so.
So a while back, the deck on the Middle Fork Bridge was loose. I imagine that's fixed now, or?
But, yeah, we still gotta put a piece of steel on there, and I don't know whether we just. Maybe just put gravel on it, gravel the whole thing over the top of it. Probably be better at the end, you know, just build it up a little bit. So I was thinking, we just can't keep that stuff welded down. You know, there's so much flex in it. But
Billy, would you read the 3 bridge names so that the public can hear?
So Gold Coin, Stony Creek, and the one at Moose Lake,
no,
Middle Fork, sorry.
And those are the 3 bridges that we will give to Great West as top priorities. And that's right here in our weekly discussion, and that's a decision. Do you have to make a motion on that?
Yeah, I think they wanted one. Yeah. The Great West was hoping to have a one.
Is there a motion on accepting
Yeah.
those 3 bridges?
I'll make that motion to the 3 bridges.
Okay,
Thanks, Jack.
and Scott second, is there any public comment?
Oh,
Things none, all in
oh.
favor?
You have one as
Oh,
well.
wait a minute, go ahead, Elena.
Thank you, Elena Gagliano, for the record. So just for confirmation, Black Pine Bridge is not included.
No.
No,
It isn't.
no,
Although the condition of that bridge is terrible. Since last year, it's gotten worse. And it still was one of the wooden bridges, hasn't been nothing done to it. So just for the record, thank you.
One more thing, I talked to Paul about it, but when it rains out there at Deesfork, if we have no travel. There's part of that road, it just turns to slime. Slippery slime. And I think it needs some more gravel. That will be done.
noted.
Along with Travelers Home, it's basically the same stuff.
Did you get that,
Very good.
Scott?
We better get them other ones done first.
Yeah, I said after we're done with the list.
Yeah, well, that's what I think you made the understanding, Scott, that when we're done with.
Yeah.
With what our roads that we need to do now, there's extra, we'll get it onto. Travelers, or not travelers, but. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a top priority, please. Okay. Anything else, Scott? Do you have a comment on?
No, that's it.
So as long as you're still here, Paul, we're gonna go right into our next agenda item. Which we have Clay, you wanna step forward and state your name and we'll discuss snow plowing on Elbow.
Okay, here we go, a little better. Great. Yeah, I'm Clay Kinser. My wife and I live Algonquin Mine, just on the north end there. And we were hoping to get some plow work done this winter,
Somewhat done.
some plow work, snow plow. Yeah. I talked to handful, 3 of my neighbors up there. We live there full time, but they don't, and they were also interested in having it done, so.
not far up you live.
I'm like 1/10 of a mile off the tower. So, and then my neighbor across the way, there's, when you first go up, kind of hooks back around to the east, and there's that big flat area up there, and that's all the further that any of the people I've talked to live. So,
Well, they're not there in the winter, so it doesn't really matter.
right, but my wife and I will be.
You're right at the bottom of the hill. basically.
Yeah, we're the first driveway on Algonquin on that north side.
Is there a place to turn around?
I haven't looked.
The first place to turn around would be like 0.2 miles up on top of that first spot. It's probably 40,
We can
30
hardly
yards.
care what we're now. I don't see us taking on more yet.
Well, I mean, the plow comes up tower right there, so I mean, it would be an extra 5 minutes of moving snow.
But next thing you know, the whole county And yes, everybody just keeps wanting more and more. We're struggling right now to take care of what we got. We have so many complaints because we're not getting to the roads that we actually have to get to because we keep taking more on. I don't know, I'm not for it.
Well, I think we're gonna have to do it. I mean, it's county road, we're up there anyway, we got the smaller truck.
I agree. So how much further would this be for you?
I'd rather go look at it, turn around.
Yeah.
And we can talk about it next week.
Okay, well, this is something where we can take under consideration after Paul does some research on it.
Great.
Can you turn around in your driveway or something?
Potentially could turn around in our driveway, you'd have to K-turn, you know, in and out, but. Yeah, and we can, I mean, if that's easier than going all the way up, that's totally acceptable.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it and
So Paul, on this road, you plow it right now, right?
plow past it.
You do it?
We plow past,
Tower, Plaza Tower Road.
right,
Okay,
and they turn off. Of the road that we plow.
okay, and this is gonna be part of a county road.
Algonquin historically been considered a county road as part of that petition. But it's historically been non-maintained, but he's asking for what, 0.1, yeah, 0.1, so. Yes,
The one
You
thing,
guys
I
see.
guess, and I can understand where Scott's coming from too, is but more people that move further in. And it's a county road. It's, yeah,
Well, I think if it's plowable, I mean, there's some county roads that you can't plow, there's full of boulders and, you know, they're not maintained.
Right,
And, you know, I mean, we did rip up the equipment, but if we can plow it.
absolutely, yeah, and going all the way up and over Algonquin would be nearly impossible because of that exact reason, but this first little bit it's gravel, you know, it's fairly flat, smooth, not saying it, you know, perfect.
Not saying it's flat.
Yeah,
Yeah, that doesn't go there.
They flatten and turn around driveway, then we'll be plowing down into a driveway to make it turn around. It just never ends.
Well. It's life,
Yeah,
so you look at it and
okay, so Paul will look at it.
okay,
We'll get it. I mean, bring it back on the agenda for next week to bring back what your opinion is on it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll have time this week to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
great, thank you.
you're welcome.
Thanks.
With a comment from Elena.
Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. This is for Paul. I had my hand up. It wasn't noticed when he was given his report. I was just wondering if he has any update on the dry well at the Peaburg dump.
Yeah, it's fixed. We have water.
Do you know what the cause was?
What's that?
Do you know what the cause was?
It would be impossible to know. And
Okay.
I don't even know exactly all what they've done yet. But I do know we got water.
you don't know how far they went.
I don't. I don't know. He'll
Well,
get email with it.
I
But
hope it has nothing to do with the sewer project that they're doing now. It's very extensive. Thank you.
yeah. Yeah,
Thank you, Elena.
they did get it fixed in the one day, so.
So they-
When they fix it, will they? You said you're gonna get an email from them and they'll say
They'll
the
give me an
reason,
email,
they'll
yeah.
have a reason why it maybe happened, or
There's no one, God only knows why it happened.
God only knows.
Yeah. I mean,
We'll have to ask him.
but and hopefully it's a while, yeah.
Okay. I think that's it, Paul.
Well, they started building.
Yeah, concrete poured, the building's up, rained in. They'll be getting it wired here pretty quick and, yeah, it's rolling right along.
Good.
Got air conditioning put in there. I just went over to the Ace Hardware and bought a little air conditioning unit for $400. They cut a hole in there and put it in.
Surprised you can find one.
They
They're all
just,
selling off the shelves, aren't they?
yeah. They had a lot of them over
Oh,
there
did it?
for $400, that's good enough, you know. Works good.
That's in the building that they sit in,
Yeah,
not the.
not the other one they're gonna sit in.
Did you catch that, Scott?
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty,
All right,
thank you.
yep, we'll see you later, thanks.
Okay, well, oh. That's it.
Got about 5 minutes before our next agenda item. Which I guess we can go right into. And we'll wait and see if anybody comes on. For our dam tenders report. So Scott, do you have your phone on speaker so you don't have to hold it next to your ear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still raining out there?
Yeah.
Alright,
You're raining, Scott, where you're at?
Yeah, it let up a little bit now, it's coming down pretty good now, it's clearing, kinda headed your way.
good. We'll take it.
Yeah.
Some of these poor branches out here look like they're about to,
I know, I was looking at that this morning.
if that was snow, that snow and
I
Yeah.
don't
June.
know, but they're, yeah. they
That's,
look
heavy
terrible.
snow. Dude.
Yeah,
They need, yeah.
is it May 23rd or May 24th? Or is it in June?
We had the one at the end of May and then another one in June. When was that? The start of the second week in June, it snowed. Too late.
I'll take it over it being really, really
Yeah.
hot though. and I can- Yeah.
Then after that, nothing for a long time.
Did you get the phone from him? Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Does he
I got it all
like it?
packaged up. He didn't say.
I had one for a while and it was just as good as Verizon. I was trying to get to Missoula with it because they say even like Nimrod in that area works, but yeah, I thought it was just as good as Verizon.
Okay, so that's a decision that, did we find that it's, I guess we'll talk about it when the agenda. item.
Yeah.
Okay, the
Yeah, I
next, go ahead, Scott.
Oh, when you talk about them phones, I don't know about that, I'll just wait till that comes up.
Okay. Yes, I think we're close enough for the dam tenders report. The water surface is let's see, 6428.87. As of July 30th at 6:15 this morning, and it's 7.56 inches below full pull. Is there discussion?
Well, I'll move to stay at 30.
Okay, is there a motion to stay at 30? Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion
Scott,
carried and passed.
Scott vote for it?
Mhm.
Alright. Yeah, it's coming back
Ready?
again there.
Yeah. I think that we can hear it.
I think being this was short and sweet for the dam tenders report, we can move on into potential transition of county phone service from Verizon to T-Mobile discussion and decision.
And I don't know if Jason Wilson, that account representative, will try to get on it.
Oh,
then.
okay, so
I'm not sure.
Okay,
What's the price difference? Is there a huge price difference?
I had a really hard time dissecting our Verizon bill, so I kind of told them what we were paying per line. I don't think it's a huge differential. Because our Verizon bill is like very difficult to read.
Yeah. Verizon's hard to deal with. They've had almost a monopoly on it. It's good that there's competition.
well, the county health nurse said it didn't really work for her.
It did or didn't?
Hmm?
Did or didn't?
Didn't.
Oh,
Didn't
They
really
don't work that good down here either. We know a lot of guys that have a T-Mobile and I was getting out way better than they were. I'm not too sure on this. It's just so hard to tell this. But yeah, a lot of these guys, up Miller Creek, I could get out, none of them could.
Well, the one thing that's coming up is that Starlink thing
yeah,
where you're gonna have, they have pretty much
they should have the best. Maybe a wait and see and look
Yeah.
at it next July
Yeah.
to see how
See who's
it's
doing
working,
best
yeah.
with Starlink.
Cause yeah, T-Mobile's teaming up with Starlink.
Yeah.
Could be really good.
well, and that's the thing is, that's gonna give you universal. So
Yeah,
not
yeah.
that-
So will that make all the towers obsolete?
No, I don't,
So why
I don't-
would
I
we be
think-
paying for Starlink and tower? When they have more coverage than Starlink.
I wouldn't think the satellite would be 100%. I think you'd always want supplement, but that's a good question. Yeah. But it's more competition with that is gonna bring the prices down. I think that's where it's needed.
Not for a while until they get
Yeah.
control and then they
Yeah.
tap them up, same as everybody. It's just right now it's special and they're trying to get everybody involved, so. I'm not changing mine. I'm staying with what I got. But whatever the county wants to do, I just don't think that they're that good right now.
Well, unless there's a good price difference, I think probably just.
Yeah,
wait and
I
see.
think so. Let's see.
Gonna wait until they are hooked up. Come back and visit.
Next
You know.
July, think about
Or
it.
even after this fall, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not the county's not tied to a contract, just month to month,
I don't
Yeah.
know. Sarah
think so.
does our Verizon.
so it could
I
you
don't
could switch
know.
off earlier if you want.
And if so, we've already met it, because we've been with Verizon for years.
Yeah.
And never went new contracts on. That I know of, but we could check with,
He had said on the,
I haven't seen any of the contracts come in for Verizon.
like a giant bill. It was hard for me to figure out which lines we had. I calculated out we had about 9 lines and he said, and that doesn't include the sheriff's office because they were kind of working with them on their own. But they would cost about $413.86 a month for our
9 lines.
9 to 12 lines. Yeah,
It's,
12 lines. I lied, that's for 12
413.
lines.
for what?
For 12 lines, it would be $413.86. Which each line's about $29 a month.
It's pretty comparable.
Comparable, I think, like I said, our Verizon
Yeah.
bill was kind of Greek and I sent pieces in and I don't know if there's any, right.
That's a good idea. At least wait and see, and if they have great satellite coverage, you can always go over it.
Oh, did you see the time cards over there too? I put them in a folder this time. We packed them all for the month. The only one not in there is the dam tenders, and he ran out of the pink sheet, so he's gonna drop it off today. Bless you.
Up in the air. Pushing,
Yeah, I was sneezing earlier.
pushing stuff down.
There you go, Missy.
Blessing. Oh, I think, these are the orders from Kira.
7 minutes left before our next agenda
I
item.
realized I got them back from her yesterday, but I don't know how to send something to be served through the sheriff's office, and I don't have those people's mailing address.
Okay. All right, sure.
Thank you.
You still there, Scott?
Yeah.
I see those kind of cards getting for sale, sorry. Looks like we have Jason in the waiting room.
Oh, thank you.
A couple minutes before our next agenda item, potential transition of county phone service from Verizon to T-Mobile. Do we have Jason that has just joined us? So our next, we'll go ahead with discussion on potential transition of county phone service from Verizon to T-Mobile. Scott, did you want to start the discussion?
Well, I just, like I said, they just weren't working that good down here, but you know, it's just hard to tell what to do. I think they're still, you know, pretty new, and if they can get that other, then maybe look into it, but personally, I'm just staying with mine.
Okay, Jason. Do you have any, I think what we were talking about is right now, there doesn't seem to be any difference in between Verizon and T-Mobile, but we were thinking that with the Starlink coming to T-Mobile, is that something that's going to improve the coverage, and how does that Starlink work?
Hey all, Jason Wilson here with T-Mobile. Apologies if it's loud. I'm driving. Well, I'm a passenger in a car rather. I can run through that Starlink relationship if you all would like.
I think we lost you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. I can run through that Starlink relationship if you guys would like. Would you like me to do that?
Yeah, would you please?
Of course. Yep. So what's going on with us in Starlink is we have an exclusive agreement with Starlink to provide coverage to the United States. Starlink is partnering with about 5 other carriers globally to do this worldwide, but we have the exclusive rights to the US. What's happening is starting in January, they actually started shooting up their new Gen 2 satellites. Those satellites actually have some of our cellular spectrum on it. So what we're essentially doing is turning their satellites into floating cell towers. And so how that relationship is going to work is the first step of it is all T-Mobile smartphones will be able to send and receive text messages through that Starlink system to any carrier. So the second step of that will be voice calls. And then the third step of that will be data. So that first step, when it goes live, any T-Mobile smartphone will be able to roam onto it. There won't be any special equipment. It will work with all of our phones as long as it has a T-Mobile SIM card in it. And then that second step will be the same thing for voice. And the third one's a really exciting one because that data will apply to not only your smartphones, but it will apply to routers, laptops, tablets, all of that will be able to roam onto it. And the data they're getting through that relationship and the beta testing is about 17 megs. So that's enough to hold a FaceTime call. In fact, if you look on YouTube, they actually have some people who have FaceTime through that Starlink relationship. So what's going to happen as far as coverage goes, if we don't have coverage from a ground tower, as long as you can see the sky, you will automatically roam onto that Starlink network. So any questions on that at all?
So if you're in a building, will it work?
So the initial beta testing they're getting on it, they're actually finding that they are getting signal within buildings. That's going to be a little hit and miss depending on the structure, obviously, because some buildings just bounce off cellular spectrum pretty good. But they have notated that they've been pretty impressed with the penetration of the signal from Starlink, that is penetrating buildings as well as foliage, which is pretty huge. Because with typical sat phones, I mean, it'll be a cloudy sky and it's a no-go.
So is a landline cell tower the backup then to it, or how does that work once that's in place?
Yep. So what they're doing is they're trying to carve out the signal so we don't get any cross interference with our ground coverage. So there probably may be a little bit of overlap, but how they're designing it is just to basically cover the areas we don't have coverage currently. So your phone is gonna, go ahead.
Say that again.
Did he say it doesn't work in cloudy days?
No, I was speaking to a normal sat phone. So if you've ever used a normal sat phone, you kind of have to stand on one leg, aim the phone just right. And they're pretty difficult. When it's with a cellular spectrum, they're finding that that coverage isn't as big of an issue as it was with the traditional sat phone.
Do you have like prospective dates on the satellite texting and satellite voice?
Yeah, January.
So, yep. So that's a fun one. So if I talked to you 2 weeks ago, I would tell you text messaging is going to go live this fall. So say September, October, voice would go live at the beginning of the year and data would go live at the end of next year. However, Starlink just had an issue with one of their last launches where they launched about 20 satellites in too low of an orbit. So they have to wait for an investigation on that one. So our timeline has been put on pause until they figure that out. We are hopeful that we'll have a new timeline and things get straightened out by I'm hoping next week I'll have more of a definitive timeline on it.
Okay.
Yeah, but they have over 100 of these direct to cell satellites already in orbit. So they're moving really quickly with it. So it's coming. I almost cried on my keyboard when I saw the failed launch. So we're hopeful that Elon can get that fixed and we can move forward with it quickly.
So comments on transitioning?
Well, I'll make a motion, we wait until the Starlink thing connects, because right now I don't see an advantage.
Okay. Did you catch that, Jason?
I did. And I totally get that. The one thing I will say over Verizon, just to be aware of, is so the tipping point that we have over Verizon and any other carrier is we own so much 5G spectrum. And when I say spectrum, I basically mean lanes of a highway. Our highway is so large that you can combine Verizon and AT&T's 5G network and place it inside of ours. The other advantage for both the county as well as the sheriff's office is we partnered with Department of Homeland Security and CISA in building out our priority and preemption services. So both the county and the sheriff's office, all of their devices at all times have our highest priority on any tower. And then if that tower ever does become too congested, we'll actually remove non-priority users to give you the throughput you need. The other thing that will really impact Granite County is T-Mobile's done an awful job of really advertising this, but we actually utilize one of the lowest spectrums available, a 600 megahertz spectrum. That 600 megahertz is lower than what Verizon has. And when you go lower on the spectrum, what that means for you is it goes out further from the tower. than any other one. So you're able to get connectivity farther from the tower than what you would with the same Verizon tower on that device. And we built that 600 into our 5G network. So you actually get faster speeds further away from any tower than you will with any other network. So that will impact phone calls, it will impact data terminals inside police or fire rigs, and allow you to connect even if you're out in a remote area. So that would be the big thing. On top of that, our price points, I don't know if you guys have had a chance to look at that, but typically what I find when coming from Verizon, you see about a savings of about 25 to 30%. Is that what you guys saw when looking at our price points?
Well, I guess we haven't,
Generally,
yeah, correct. So have we gotten an opinion from the sheriff's office?
He has not sent me his opinion directly. I talked to him after he had started using the phones, 'cause I know he was kind of working with T-Mobile kind of separately for their demo. And I know he liked the phones, but I don't think he saw any vast difference between one carrier to the other. It was kind of the blanket feedback I
Yeah.
got when I first went over there.
So Jason, I wonder if we could maybe have the sheriff reach out to Jason and give him, I mean, it's saying, what Jason is saying is he's got, there's better Homeland Security and the megahertz and the spectrum thing for the
Yeah,
public safety part of it.
I know the undersheriff is has T-Mobile personally and likes it, and so, yeah, I think they are looking at it seriously. So, yeah, potentially even,
Is
Or-
this something that, is this something that maybe we can table and get more input from the sheriff, or do we
Well,
want
that's
to
what I
go?
was thinking, until after this, maybe the sheriff and then if the Starlink thing does hook up this
Yeah.
fall,
yeah,
and then revisit November or October or whatever.
So Jason, does that work okay with you? I mean, we want to get more research on this and have our ducks in a row.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I'm here. There's really no pressure. I'd love to, work with you guys and help out, but yeah, the timeline is completely your prerogative.
Okay,
And the only other thing I'll let you guys know is I do work with Missoula County. They're one of my larger customers. And then Raleigh County is getting ready to pull over. So they're starting with their sheriff's department, then we'll do the county as a whole after that. So just kind of give you the roadmap of what I'm doing surrounding you.
so Scott, did you want to second that motion?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Okay, so is there any public comment? Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. Jason, I think I asked you last time when you were on. This is Elena Gagliano.
Hi,
Uh,
Lena.
Hi. Okay, now, two questions. They're working, and Blackfoot telephone, which I have, is working, I understand, with you guys to replace the copper wiring contracted with T-Mobile to replace the copper wiring. I was told that once it's complete, I was told by Blackfoot, that I will not have a land phone. I will have no telephone service at all if I don't allow my copper wiring to be replaced with the fiber optic. And this is what I was told. So I'd like to know when this is going to be completed. It seems like you've gotten some problems, hitches. And if that's true, that I'm going to be without service, what's going to happen with the county that they have their land phones, I would assume. And how did that worldwide outage that we had a couple of weeks ago, where I noticed that some emergency services, clinics, hospitals, fire services were completely without any service. Were they connected to some specific Verizon or T-Mobile? I don't understand that. If you can clarify that.
Sure, absolutely. So Elena, I'm not familiar with our relationship with Blackfoot. From my understanding, T-Mobile has recently got into the fiber game. However, I don't believe that we're doing any fiber in Montana. So I don't know why they would reference us as a partner in that. I will say in regards to the copper replacement, that's actually a US thing, that they're kind of doing away with all copper lines. It's kind of I'm seeing it with a lot of agencies that they're pulling away from copper services and using, it's called a voice over IP. So you can still have your home phone. It would just run through your internet instead of a copper line. And that's been a national thing that they've done. To kind of answer that, all state local agencies are moving away from copper and going to a VoIP setup, a voice over IP, where your phone calls run over the internet. In regards to the outage, that outage was caused, that had nothing to do with T-Mobile and actually didn't affect T-Mobile. That was a solution provider, I believe, called CrowdStrike. And they had an update that went out, again, nothing to do with us. And that update had a glitch in it that affected very large brands like Microsoft. And I mean, that was the outage. So it was nothing cellular related. It was actually a cybersecurity thing that they have contracts with these big companies, if that makes sense. But T-Mobile was not affected in that outage.
So is this just for cell phone? You don't deal with internet service? Or if I went over to T-Mobile, let's say, I wouldn't have to worry about any of this?
We don't really have a fiber footprint. T-Mobile announced, I think, a few months back that they were getting into the fiber game. But we do have a home internet offering. It's like a little mobile hotspot that you just plug in, that you can provide home internet service for that. And there are options. I mean, there's a lot of different flavors, probably as many flavors as ice cream, for a VoIP service. So you can either use that VoIP service and still utilize your home phone, or what a lot of households have done, including mine, is I don't even have a house phone. All of my house calls just go to my cell phone. But that's just kind of your choice on what flavor ice cream you want, to be honest.
Thank you, Jason.
Of course.
Okay, Jason, thank you very much, and we'll be getting back to you in the near future.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. I hope you have a good week.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks.
Did we vote?
Oh, no, I don't think you did yet.
Got to vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Scott, did you say aye?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Our next agenda item is fire restrictions in Granite County, discussion and decision.
I don't see how we can go level 2 as it rain. Even though it's.
It's all,
Even,
today,
huh?
it's be right back up into the hundreds this weekend.
Yeah, I know, but then it's gonna dry out and what's it gonna do next week?
Supposed to, the long forecast supposed to be pretty hot.
Mm.
You guys do what everybody else is doing.
Hal's going to stage 2. It will shut down Blackfoot. They're subcontractors. They're working off road.
Well, what is it just about Blackfoot and not everybody else? How come the loggers have to be out?
No, it would, yeah, it would,
You're judging two different entities.
Well, the equipment.
They should have,
the
they
equip-
should have to follow the same rules as everybody else, and they should have to have, not just fire extinguishers, they should have to have water trucks there, they're more.
Yeah, I wasn't giving it, I wasn't giving an opinion, I was just saying it would shut them down, just giving you the facts. I'm not,
So what's the Beaverhead Deer Lodge on?
Oh, I have that in that book.
Jackie, do you have any comment on this?
Let me give her a, hold on.
Sorry, I should have
Nope, you're
said, let's
fine.
put Jackie on to see if
There we
she has
go.
a comment on this.
Now she can mute now.
Okay, so, Anaconda Deer Lodge is at 1. Beaverhead is at 1, and when I have a meeting this morning, but they're looking at going to 2. Silver Bow is looking at 2, Missoula, Ravalli, Powell. Mineral and Sanders are all at 2. But here's the deal, I was talking to Fire Warden Sean O'Connor last night, and he's highly recommending, at least on this end of the valley, going to stage 2, because we are a lot drier. We had the lightnings that came through the other night. On Friday, we had 2 small fires above Drummond. You know, we can't change the lightning, I know, but we need to be thinking on this end of the valley, especially, that we are a lot more arid and dried out than the south end of the valley.
Okay, so you're saying Missoula and Ravalli County, and what other county are at stage 2?
Mineral, Sanders, Powell. Of course, Lewis and Clark is, and Missoula.
What's a national forest?
They are at 2.
Beaverhead Deer Lodge is?
I would, I'll have to look that up, but Chuck, I think they were going to 2. Cause they have had numerous fires down there.
What do you blame?
well, it's my understanding of stage 2 that equipment, there's just the 1-to-1 deal on equipment. So, yeah, it does affect the equipment on time periods. So,
Well, then they have to have watchmen,
yeah,
Gonna have to do what?
watchmen for an hour to do that after they quit working.
yeah.
Well, I may add that, I did some inquiring and those contractors didn't even have fire suppression in any of their trucks, but they do now after a few phone calls, so.
Good.
Okay, so if we went to stage 2, does that mean that, like, Blackfoot couldn't continue?
It
working?
Says anything off road.
Yeah, they'd have to quit at 1.
Well,
But our loggers are quitting at 1.
To who?
The
log-
loggers,
Right now,
well, everyone I've talked to, they're
Who?
going to work at 2 in the morning and quitting at noon.
well,
There-
this would, yeah, they would be on
Okay,
the
one at a
federal,
time.
they'd be on the federal versus, yeah, we're just talking about all non-federal, non-state, this would apply to.
Okay. So. Is there a motion?
well, I'll move to stay on 1. I can't
Scott?
justify going to 2. Okay.
I'm not seconding that. Seems like it's just all about Blackfoot, not just that.
No, it's not.
That's,
We haven't
that's
received,
just,
Okay, just a second, Jackie, go ahead, Blake.
Scott, I think you were misinterpreting what I said. I was just bringing that up as a fact. I wasn't, they're not the
No,
end
no.
all and end all.
I know that. And I'm just
Okay.
saying that it's just kind
Okay.
of the way it takes across. I'm not saying,
Okay,
you know,
alright,
it's my
okay,
thought.
okay.
If that's what, if you want to stay at 1, then you vote 1.
So Scott, do you have a counter motion?
No, just thought we, you know, just that go to 2, but if the motion's already made to go to 1, then. if
Well,
you
there's
want
no,
second-
there's no second, that's what I'm saying, I'm listening to Jackie and I'm listening to you. And So. I'm the one that would be doing the second, if you're saying you're not gonna second it. And you wanna be stage one and you wanna be stage two,
I mean, if it turns off hot next week, yeah, go to. We don't know. We don't know, and it's gonna take a while, if it rains all day, it'll take a while for the woods to dry out and everything. The grass will dry out quicker, but still, there's moisture there. And that takes us up until, what, the weekend, then you got 2 more days. See what it is next week. Well,
Okay, how much is it supposed to rain? A couple of inches? It's supposed to piddle, and it's our responsibility as Granite County to protect the people of Granite County.
So how many fires have been started by people?
okay, and for the. I'm going to, I'm gonna go with Jackie and I'm gonna go with Scott and say that to go to a stage two.
So is that a first or a second, just for clarification in the minute?
Well, I think it needs to be a new motion, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
would
needs to be a
be,
new
but you're
motion,
making the
yeah.
motion.
Scott, did you wanna make a motion to go to stage two?
I'll make the motion to go to 2.
Okay, I'm gonna second it, public comment. Go ahead, Elena.
Oh, this is Granite
Oh,
Headwaters.
sorry, go ahead, Granite Headwaters.
Hi, my name's Anna. I just wanted to point out really quick, I don't think this was discussed already, but last Thursday, July 25th, all of Granite County went into D3 for drought monitor. So we are in extreme drought right now. Just wanted to make that known.
Okay, thank you, Granite Headwaters. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
No.
Okay, Chuck opposed. Okay, motion carried and passed. Okay, we're at a stage two. I guess this would be what we or,
Yeah, I'd have it on the agenda every week here. Yeah.
okay,
I had a gentleman call me earlier today asking if you do go to a stage two, how he requests an exemption.
Nope.
I don't know how to,
What's he do?
he works for IEG or IIG. He took down his information, but that's not something I've ever.
I mean, there's an
dealt with
ag
either.
exception already built into the stage 2. But yeah, I start granting exceptions and the rule's gone.
Let him know. Thank you.
okay, our next agenda item is resolution 2024-10. A Granite County resolution requesting a ballot issue for the general election on November 5th, 2024. Regarding a proposed local option motor vehicle tax. Second reading and adoption.
I move to approve resolution 24, for 2024 dash.
There a second? Okay. Is there any public comment? Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. Regarding this resolution, I'm reading it and it says on page 1, the county published and held a public meeting to receive comments on the proposed fee on July 23rd and July 30th. I don't remember seeing anything published in the newspaper. And I don't think there was anything decided on the wording that would be published in the newspaper. So it hasn't been published in the newspaper. There has been no public meeting or hearing.
A public hearing is not required for this. It's a public,
It's going to be on the ballot for the public to to
Yeah.
vote on this, because when everything else is put in the newspaper. And I didn't see anything at all in the last two papers, not even of the weekly meeting. Nothing.
The little box that says that references the website hasn't been.
Right, and the last two papers, Silver State, Peaburg Mail. I just looked, I have them in front of me. I couldn't find them unless I missed it. So there's not even the weekly meeting.
It's still posted and published on the county's website. That's sufficient. I mean,
How would anybody know to go to the county website?
it's right on where it's posted. Every time it's posted, it has the county's website on there.
This is gonna involve a tax. It's gonna affect everybody in the county to a certain degree. And it's not gonna be in the newspaper. I don't know,
The-
you put other things in a newspaper, you would think that this would be in the newspaper.
The notice of the election will be in there, and and what you're just saying is push it off 2 more weeks. I don't. What's
I don't
the?
think, sorry, Glenn.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't think we have time. We need to move on this and get going. I mean, you keep this.
Okay, Amelia Wood, do you have a comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify. I don't know if you guys sent in an additional notice to Julie at the paper. If you did, it wouldn't be until this week's paper, so Wednesday. So it may very well be in there. It just, the paper hasn't come out. But I did want to say that there is a separate article, just talking about the resolution. And that will be in this week's paper.
We didn't do a separate one, but is that general one that we've had in there for the last few years been published? That has the county's website?
I'm not entirely sure. I usually don't look over the ads, because that's kind of Julie's domain. But I can double check when I get the paper tomorrow when I'm delivering that little box is in there.
Go ahead, Elena.
All right, I just want to, for the record, say that when Phillipsburg was gonna put in their sales tax, their resort tax, it was put in the newspaper twice. And because the public should know about it, and this is part of transparency. And it's not. There's a lot of people that don't even know that this thing is gonna be on, or what it's about. Where's any discussion regarding it? Anything in the newspaper giving a, clarification of this? Even though Amelia said that this week there's going to be something in the paper. Well, you're agreeing with this thing, and if people have any questions regarding it, they have no idea that it's going to be on the ballot and what it's about. And so it's transparency with the public. It's
Yeah,
the
we're more
public's money.
transparent than voting on it.
This is a resolution to put it on the ballot, okay? So, and I think, Blaine, we've gone through this is the 3rd week now that we've gone through this. And so there's gonna definitely be public notice. I think we have done our due diligence on getting this resolution up and running, and we've done what am I correct in that, Blaine?
Yes, I mean, no more transparency than putting it on the ballot, and the county could do a fact sheet. We can get that out and publish that in the paper. The county can't promote it, but a fact sheet is acceptable. I'm not seeing I think Elena's right about the county's website
Not
being
me.
taken off
I can email Julie.
we did discuss in the last reading of the resolution that we do have a plan to. Once we have more data from the Department of Justice, we will be putting a fact sheet out there. Like Blaine said, we can't promote it, but we can put facts out there for our taxpayers, and that is the current plan. We don't want people to not understand why this is on there. We want people to understand why this is being proposed. And that, you know, the target for this are those vehicles with an MSRP of the 90,000, right?
And can you handle the resolution?
90,000 and
Yeah.
above, and same for motorhomes.
Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you for allowing me to unmute again. On the resolution, it says published. Okay, so in essence, published does not mean putting a notice at the courthouse or on the supermarket bulletin board. I believe published means published in a paper. So therefore, it was not published July 23rd or July 30th. That's the point I'm making. So this is very questionable.
Published in the county's website.
It doesn't say published in the Phillipsburg Mail, it says published, so. It's
Published is not put on the website on the internet. That's not published.
Yes, it is.
Maybe you can look it up. It's
We're not-
being on the website is not published.
Yeah.
Not many people have access to the website.
Oh, come on, everybody does.
I'm sorry, everybody. Is that why, Mr. Hinkle, you had a problem in pulling up the minutes? Or some of the information? Sorry, thank you.
Even
Okay,
like,
all in favor? Resolution 2024-10.
Aye.
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 Motion carried and passed. Okay, that's second reading.
could be signed,
It's
yeah.
our next agenda item, Granite County Courthouse roof project, competitive bidding proposal from Dave Kopp. Discussion and decision.
Oh, on this resolution on, the option tax, can I sign your name, Scott?
Yeah,
And,
please,
and for the stage 2 one, can your name be signed?
yes,
Okay.
yeah. Thanks, sorry.
Yes, you're welcome.
Scott, did you have any discussion on the
Well,
Granite
is
County?
is this about that guy who wants, that money?
So this is,
So, yeah, there is, Dave Kaufman going to be a consultant on the roof project. But it's 16,000. He's also advising having the asbestos room inspected, do an inspection on the roof. I think that inspection's needed, whether you go with Dave Kaufman or not.
I mean, do we have to have that done, Blaine, I guess, or I was understanding like with Ace and that, if they bid, you know, they're professionals and they know what they're doing. Why do we have to spend 16,000 on our guys that tell them what, you know, I guess I just don't agree with that.
It's
We
expensive.
need money in
Yeah.
here, now we're gonna pay some guy to tell them what to do. I just don't understand it, I guess.
The only thing I would say is, got in trouble once before just going with Ace, and they should have gave us better advice, I think, Ace, and the but the asbestos, I think that needs.
Yeah, that's our next agenda
Yeah,
item.
that's next item.
So,
Well, so then, I mean, this guy, whoever, it's Kaufman or whoever, they want 16,000, but they won't know nothing until we actually start tearing the roof up. So I mean, here we're paying that we could be paying towards the roof.
Yeah,
You see what I'm going? Just, I don't agree with paying out all this stuff all the time to hire having people. I don't know, it's just frustrating, it's just like engineers and stuff, you know, we gotta always have somebody. And we need the money more.
Another thing Dave Kaufman's saying is that potentially, you may need, architect to look at it too, so yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting expensive
That's
even before you
what-
start.
That's why I don't understand that, why the person can't, why you have to have an architect to do a roof. I just don't understand that
One-
stuff,
Yeah,
So we know what needs to be done on the roof, right?
yeah, except,
They gotta pull up all that stuff and. You know, just after talking to Ace and that, you know, just kind of getting a feel of what they would have to do and that, he would. You know, I'm not holding him to what he said, but I mean, just the stuff and that, I guess I just don't understand why I always have to have an engineer try to cover our butts, I
I
suppose.
don't know,
yeah, I
just hate
yeah,
when we need it at 16,000, and you go to 180 house roof.
yeah, I fully understand what you're saying, but just having a consultant may be good, especially since they're gonna. Like even TCS was talking about potentially do like funnel drains, doing a little better drains and stuff like that. But maybe there's someone cheaper than Dave Kaufman out there.
so is this, I myself. I know where you're coming, Scott, but. I think
You know,
this is gonna protect us. This is gonna protect us more so than what happened with Ace Roofing and going through all the.
Yeah,
Is this gonna help explain?
It's just frustrating.
Just a second, I'm asking Blaine a question.
I didn't hear you, sorry.
Okay,
I think it is helpful and needed. 16,000's a lot to pay for. I hear Scott's concern there. So
Well, how can he say 16,000 when he doesn't even know how many times he'd be over here to look at it?
well, he's the one that already inspected it once and advised on having the new roof put on. But yeah, 16,000 is a lot for
See what I'm
that.
saying? I mean,
Yeah,
he could come over once. And look
But-
at it.
he would help us with the specifications when it goes out to bid. Cause if that's the key point, I think, but is that worth 16,000? That's a.
what, do we wanna negotiate maybe?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, can we table this and then negotiate? Blaine, would you
That's what I
negotiate?
would say.
Someone negotiate?
Or
Can we negotiate? Why
or
does,
Scott and I chat with him.
yeah. Is that okay, Scott?
Yeah, I'll talk to him,
Okay.
and I just, seems like it's a lot of things to be told what to do. And then figure out really what we're getting for the 16,000, if it's, you know.
Well, it kind of lists. Attend
Yeah, I
pre-bid and quality assurance inspections, review and change orders and attend final inspection.
Well, and that's why I didn't understand Blanche on that change order, that's coming from the contractor and. Do they have to go through him to get a change order? I guess that's just stuff we can ask him, I don't mean to drag
Okay,
it on.
let's do this. Let's table this. For further discussion and further research.
I think ultimately a change order, the county commission is gonna have to
Yeah.
approve, but he's, I think particularly talking about it would go
Yeah.
through him. He would be totally his, like the architect is on the elevator project, he would be for you on this project, but if you're gonna have to use him as a consultant, and also get plans drafted up by architects,
Yeah.
it's getting
Okay.
too expensive, I think.
Okay, what do you think? Okay, so we're going to table this roof project competitive bidding proposal from Dave Kaufman and with for further research.
Another thing I'm thinking of is, I think it's gonna be too late in the fall to even get the roof done. I think you're looking at a spring project, but Dave Kaufman said that his advice was to have him cut through for the elevator and be working on that and then do the roof after that. That was his advice, so you're not in any rush. And
So
then,
get the elevator project done. So that's, we're looking at next fiscal year, next budget year.
or,
Well,
yeah,
so
next spring or
Has to be
next.
done before winter, doesn't it?
No, it'd be good, but I don't know that you're gonna get there, and I think as long as the drain issue is taken care of, but
Okay, all right, okay, so. Agenda item has been tabled. Our asbestos testing proposal is our next agenda item. With GED Environmental and Facility Management Consulting.
I'll move to approve the asbestos taxing proposal with GED for 3,000.
Their second,
My second.
okay. Any public comment?
Elena.
Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. Just a question. Wasn't there a testing done before the elevator? Asbestos testing done before the elevator project started?
yes, in the limited areas of just where the elevator was going, didn't expand out.
This is for the roof.
Yeah, for the whole roof.
So do you have a copy of that? What does it say? There was no asbestos anywhere in a building that old?
Correct, I don't think they ever
Found any.
found anything,
Well, that's different than the roof.
yeah,
The roof
it's
is-
still. Dave Kaufman saying it's required, you gotta do it before you're messing with it.
I'd be surprised. There wasn't.
So, okay, thank you. So I'd like to see a copy of that if that's up online somewhere. Thank you.
I'll send it to you. It's
Okay,
not
thank
online.
you, Elena.
Thanks, Bill.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried and passed.
You'll talk to them, Billy?
Yep, I'm ready. We're on it. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so this is approved.
Do you have to sign it somewhere, don't you? Or is there a spot to sign
Proposal
it?
acceptance by.
Yeah.
Right there. Okay. Okay, so. We can move on to our next agenda item. We have Matt Retreat here with Phillipsburg
No,
Cemetery District.
So-
Oh, settlement with Ace Roofing. Sorry, go ahead, you can come sit down anyway, that's fine.
Good, because I actually just got diagnosed with allergies and
So
you're not gonna be able to hear me.
is there a motion? The
And
settlement.
on that, did you guys understand what they were kind of talking about on that ACE stuff?
On what?
Or did you go to the ACE roofing gentleman?
Yeah,
oh, they're willing to, since you're gonna be doing new drains potentially anyway, willing to just be cash out the county. They thought 6,000 and they'll get us an agreement. Is that what you're talking about, Scott?
That's what I talked to him about and just that, cause if we had it come to do it, they're gonna have to redo it again, so why wouldn't we just take their money and put it towards the roof when we're gonna bid it out? Just take a settlement from them.
do you wanna make that motion?
I'll make a motion, we take the $6,000 settlement from ACE.
I'll second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Alright,
Aye.
They'll,
Motion carried and passed.
they'll send us an agreement then,
Yeah.
get it on the agenda for you.
So we have a settlement with Ace Roofing. Okay. We've got about 10 minutes, but I think we can go ahead and go to our next agenda item.
before that, could you do ahead on level 1 or level 2?
Still on one,
Still on what?
no talk of going to stage 2 restrictions as of yet. The southern half of the forest is significantly more dry. When I've done fuel moistures up here. Where we're actually at right now is at the availability to burn, but not really to consume. Is the easiest way for me to say that. So like big logs aren't gonna completely burn up, they're just gonna chow up.
No, about that. He agreed with me.
Hmm?
He agreed with me.
Yeah, and then like the live fuel moisture, so that is actually the growth on the ends of the needles themselves. They are coming to the point where they're consumable, but they are not going to just like blow the trees out. I like my simple terms.
Okay, so. Get this.
Yep.
And
So what's going on there? I dropped the ball on that. It's a yearly report that goes pretty much you have to get in by December. Was having a little bit of a hardship in my personal life. I pretty much pushed it aside. Pretty easy to rectify with local government services themselves. The forms are really convoluted, I would say, just the way the information gets in there. I've had a pretty good history with them in the past. It was just, I actually just went through a divorce. I really, I'm doing a lot better now, but it was rather hard on me.
Sorry to hear, if you ever get in a bind, come and I'll help Claudette or I'll help you out, so, yeah.
Financially, the rest of the cemetery, it's actually doing fairly good. One of the problems we're having is hiring, just like everybody else. So the way the cemetery actually works is they have a working crew that's usually 5 people plus the foreman. And the reason why we actually do that is it just so those folks can work in the morning. They're only able to hire 2, and it's been that way for about 5 years. So
What's the deal with your backhoe? How come it's up, I mean, you need a new one and you approved it, but then you didn't wanna get
I don't believe that was us, Scott.
it? Okay,
Who does the grave digging? Is it
The town.
the town does?
Yeah, we have an interlocal agreement with the town of Phillipsburg that signed about 5 years ago. The town actually does all of the grave digging for casket funerals, but not cremations. They do all the plowing of the roads for us for snow. They were doing all the thawing, jackhammering inside of it. The interlocal agreement was really the town needed to kind of bolster the monies that were being received. Originally, they were getting $150 to dig a grave. Now the cost of a grave is $300 to dig and close it, plus added inside of there. So funeral costs during the winter could actually go up to about $800 to open and close a grave.
so you don't dig your own?
Nope, just only the cremations. And quite frankly, to tell you the truth, cremations are pretty much what everybody does now. We probably, at most, you have 8 Catholic funerals a year.
So you don't really need a backhoe, you're saying?
A smaller piece of equipment, not a backhoe, like just a utility type tractor that actually would have a hoe, is something that we're actually starting to look into. But we do not need the equipment right now with the interlocal agreement in place to actually bury a casket.
Oh,
You have the funding for something like that you tell, okay. So it's in the works.
It's in the works. I'm just getting bids now. I have to obviously be in county funds, looking at right about $30,000. So that would be the tractor with the bucket with the small backhoe on it.
Correct.
Yep.
That's what I'm,
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to say that, well, I should have said tractor, but I'm just going by what I got told, I was just kind of curious. Cause the other ones broke down and sounded like they needed it or something.
Yeah, the other one was actually a donation to the cemetery originally. So we'd never actually purchased one.
Yeah.
It was given, now we're actually having to move forward, it's actually a lot of the problem is. The individuals that you can get to work up there are elder. It's not like you have an 18-year-old that can carry a 5-gallon bucket around. Probably the average age up there is 65 or greater. Those are the Pilgrim
You're-
people. Yeah.
You're saying a 55-year-old can't work? Come on now.
No, 65.
I kinda hit the wrong butt.
So, if it's 30,000 range, you technically don't have to have it out for bids, but to get multiple bids would be good there. And I'm assuming they're giving you the government pricing.
Yes.
On the bids, oh, anyway, okay.
Yeah, Bill Weiss is the foreman, so we changed it from sexton to foreman. Just to actually clarify the history of it. We needed to renegotiate what people were getting paid up there was one of the problems. When I started on the board, they were paying $8 an hour for people in the lawns. Actually, to get up to our staff, 3 people now, we've had to move up to 15.
And they're employees, right?
They are
So,
employees.
all right. Part-time employees.
Yeah, so they're not 1099, they're W-2, they're employees.
So I guess our only concern is receiving this from the Montana Department of Administration. And what you're saying is you're in correspondence with them and.
Yeah, I can take care of it.
Will be, getting the balance owed before August 15th.
It's already paid.
Okay, cool.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Your foreman dropped this off.
Yeah, so that was another thing I was actually just gonna bring up. We will have kind of a hole because Bill is gonna resign. He's 70.
What is that?
Their foreman dropped off a resignation letter this
Oh.
morning.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna leave a void up there, for the time being. I'm probably gonna have to interim do it. We're gonna close the cemetery. And the reason why we actually closed the cemetery is lack of water. We'll have the system shut down. We'll be having to advertise. We're discussing right now, different ways to approach the foreman position. Because as of right now, what we had to do was, one of the previous sextons was getting paid large amounts during the summer. And minimal during the winter. So we made it a standard minimum wage job. So that they get paid year round, just out of legality, more than anything else.
Do you have a good job description for your
Yep.
foreman?
We
Okay.
actually had a job description built and we've modified that job
Okay.
description over time just to adapt to what is going on.
So who's your sexton?
Right now, the foreman is Bill Weiss. And he's the one that's actually resigning. He's stating that, he physically just can't do it anymore. I think we need to actually, and this is what we're already discussing, I think we need to kind of take a different approach on it. Because that job is really 2 jobs up there. One is the supervisor of the grounds crew, but the other one is that individual is responsible for doing all the maintenance. So that's maintenance on the water systems, that's maintenance on the tractors, maintenance on the buildings,
So
really,
might be broke up into two jobs. is what you're
that's
saying?
prospectively what we're looking
Alright.
at. So one would actually, they would probably both be temporary jobs rather than one singular job. So 2 temporary jobs that were paid on an hourly basis rather than one single job.
Not temporary, just part-time?
Part-time.
Part-time, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's probably gonna be the only way realistically to do it, and this actually kind of started happening before COVID. Them having difficulties to fill positions up there. A lot of it is, the candidates that are willing and capable of going up and working in a cemetery itself. The nature of burying people, is very, very tough on individuals.
It's been my opinion that the county commission doesn't supervise or anything,
Yeah.
the cemetery board, but. I mean, definitely updates are good, and if you guys need help, I think, come and discuss some things.
Yep.
If you need help posting those jobs on Indeed and stuff like that too, we've had a lot of kidding can't.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta kind of get the right approach, because one of the things with bill making minimum wage right now. And the difficulties inside of the job, I think that's the best avenue to go with that split itself. That way you have an individual that actually only deals with the implementation of that, and then an individual that solely actually deals with the variance. Probably gonna have to split the position description in order to do that. But I think it's like fishing. It's the way that we're gonna actually have to get somebody up there to fill that position.
If you need help with the job descriptions up now.
I also was, I was just considering, actually more of a, well, not gonna call it student employment, but trying to see if with that, we can bolster that, mowing crew.
So they do, at the school, they do apprenticeships, I think.
Yeah.
Have you talked to the
So-
superintendent?
Doing something along
Yeah.
those lines.
Yeah.
It's, everything in the cemetery always is a work in progress,
Yeah.
because everything is dynamic and everything is changing, even though you wouldn't really think it was. So it's actually a pretty active place to work, confrontations by the public, confrontations by different things. I'm gotta stay on my toes awful lot, actually, just to keep up with everything that's going on.
Okay, thank you.
One more thing, if you don't mind, kind of seems like some people have had communication problems with getting a hold of me. I'm getting emails to my personal email, I'm getting to my work email, I'm getting to my work phone, to my cell phone, to the cemetery phone. So I'm having a hard time tracking all of them. And I don't know if it's on the county website, that information, for some reason it's spooling out that way. And I don't understand how. I don't know if it's just the local town saying, call Matt Latrey, here's his phone number, or call the Forest Service.
I think we have your work.
No, I don't think
Do
we have
a
any
work number or just
contact
an email?
information,
Oh,
but,
yeah.
and I'll check right now. But one thing the airport board did is they just created a generic like riddickfield@gmail.com, I think is what it is. And so any correspondence from the public, any questions for anything, that's what we give out. We send them there, and that's all their board members have access to it. And I think that's been really helpful for them.
And talking to the public, because I did a little research on it, there's so many commercialized cemetery websites. The public is allowed to put information in there.
Oh.
So, I get lots of interactions because generally speaking, those individuals can put down whatever they want in their contact or whatever. So it's not really a solvable problem at this level. I just wanted to make sure that everybody is aware of that. That information is just flying in from all different avenues. So trying to get a rope and a handle around that one too.
Maybe, I like that idea, the centralized.
Cause then
email
that's
that
what
they
we'll
can
give
send,
out
yeah.
if people ask
Or
us.
the town could give it out too, and put something like that.
Works for me. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess interlocal agreements actually been working well. I think for the most part, cemeteries up and running way more efficient than it used to. Just bringing technology into it, but that was completely me being stressed and dropping the ball. That's what it comes down to. Easy to get fixed.
We have
Thanks.
public
So there, now I
comment.
give you your update too.
Okay, we have public comment. Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I missed the introduction of who was speaking from the cemetery board.
Matt Latrey.
Okay, Matt Latrey. Okay, and I just want to say I'm looking at the website, Phillipsburg Cemetery District Board on the county website. And it says that I don't even see Matt, I see Danette Latrey on it, and it says that they meet monthly, May through August. Matt, did you have any meetings?
One last fall, and then once again this spring.
He's on,
Okay,
he's
'cause
the clerk of the board.
I'm actually not a board member
Yeah,
now.
Okay, because again, I'm looking at the website for the county and this is what it says. And I think if this was corrected, updated, and also have the information, contact information, like some of the other board members have it, then you won't have a problem with people calling your private numbers and your email. This should be the place to go to if somebody wants to get in touch with the cemetery district board. And that's just my suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you, Elena.
The bylaws might need to be looked at and adjusted if they're, gonna. Meet quarterly or whatever, they could be adjusted in the bylaws.
So all minutes and stuff are supposed to be submitted. Aren't they to the
Yeah.
recorder's office?
You shouldn't, and like the meetings coming up, we could put it on the county website, so yeah. Be good.
Yeah.
On that emergency meetings too.
Yeah, I will, yeah. Yeah, I would do, yeah,
Yeah, just mainly asking because we have this foreman position opening up.
yeah, I would, I would have that notice,
You can do that.
yeah.
Just send me
yeah.
your agenda and I'll get it on the county calendar and put it on your.
Perfect.
All right,
Anything else?
Any fires?
No, we had Bucket Willow, one in combination. That's actually the only two that were on forest protection. Well, even the Upper Willow was DNRC. I think we've had 7 fires on DNRC within the county, and then our 2 small ones. One was up Rossburg, and then one in combination.
Thanks, Matt.
Yep, see you guys.
thanks. Have a good one.
That was our last agenda item.
I need to print out the stage 2 fire restriction resolution,
Okay,
so if you
Okay,
mind waiting a few
tight,
minutes,
alright.
I'll be right back. Okay.
we do that.
All right,
So, but we can still adjourn, right? Or do we have, no, we can't until you do that?
no, you can sign it after you adjourn.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are we all?
Are you adjourned?
We are adjourned.